tabs here for the key mount. That's not moving now. Nice little spot for that. And also, I don't have to zap strap this on anymore. I put a little tab on there. I believe this does ground itself through the body, so it has to be on a steel surface like that, I'm assuming. But right now, as you can see, the brake pedals are sitting really far forward, and that's because I couldn't find the right clevises here. These clevises are bottomed out on the push rods, and also are just sticking out too far. So I trimmed the push rod on this one, and now what I'm going to do is trim the actual clevis and bring it back some, shorten it up, just take a measurement of how far I need to come, because as you can see, if I push the pedal right there, it's bottomed out on the master cylinder, but that's where it needs to sit. So I'm basically just adjusting the throw here on the pedals. By usually you do it by just turning your clevises on here, but I'm going to do it by adjusting the actual clevis because I'm out of adjustment space there. So that'll be the next step, get those pedals in the right spot. And then also, I decided I'm going to put a brake proportioning valve on the front section, on the front master cylinder here, which just limits the amount of pressure that's going to go into the front brakes here. So you should have pretty good control by just feathering. You can fit your foot over here on the extreme left and just hit the rear brake. At least my foot fits in there pretty well. But then if you ever use the front brakes, chances are you're using the rear brakes with them. Don't plan on burning the tires off this thing on the street, so I'll put the brake proportioning valve in. But if I do want to burn the tires off it on the street, all you do is you'd turn the brake proportioning valve all the way stiff, so that way the brakes can lock on the front end, and just push the front brake and hammer down, basically, right? But as far as racing goes, when you're into a basically panic brake, or you want to slow down quickly, both pedals will be basically hit at the same time, and that will the brake proportioning valve will be on the front brake, so it'll limit understeer happening to me when I hammer on the brakes. But we'll see how it all works. It's going to take testing on the brakes for sure. There's more to it than I figured, but we'll figure that out. So I'll get the clevises shortened up and get those lined up better, and bolt this on when it cools down. It's still real hot. New holes in the clevises are just a little farther back, and that gave me some more adjustment. So now I got the pedals right where I want them. Much better spot. So basically the last step up here is this rack and pinion, and it's going to be interesting because we were real tight to the master cylinder here. I might have to make an adjustment somewhere to make this work. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. It's basically one of the next thinking parts, I'd say, just to figure that out. But yeah, so now I'm just bolting this back on, and then I'll have to step back and do some thinking here on what we're going to do next. The master cylinders are set up, brakes set up, basically. Figured what I'll do is I cut a little piece of 1/4 inch thick stuff. I'm just going to weld on the inside of the frame and drill and tap it and do a chassis ground finally, and then we'll hook this up to a battery and test the wiring harness finally and see how I did, because I actually haven't tested it and I taped everything, so we gotta really hope that this all works out. But I'm pretty confident in my wiring abilities. Well, hopefully this works out well. I'll get the ground done and we'll hook her up to a battery. run down to Canadian Tire right now, Canadian motherfucker, and get some, get a peacock for the fuel tank here, and then we can bring it into the shop, take on a thick little piece of aluminum, tap it, and screw on the peacock, and we can try to fire this thing up, which is nice. So I'm going to clean up a little bit and head over to Canadian Tire. This will probably be it for this video, but hopefully next video we'll get to hear her run now.